This week, the sky brings in the Lunar New Year, Aquarius new moon, and it's coming just in time because it's going to help us shed what no longer serves us, release the bullshit, and call in more magic. And I'm going to get into all of that and more and what it means for you, my cutie, on today's episode of Cosmic RX Radio. Welcome to Cosmic RX Radio, a podcast that gives you real-life tools of spiritual empowerment and pure hype. I'm your host and intuitive guide, MADI Murphy. I'll be serving up your weekly energy readings, cosmic boss interviews, and astro inspiration. Are you ready to love yourself more, manifest your dream life, and own your magic? Let's jump in. How the hell are we doing? This is your girl, MADI Murphy, your high vibe hype woman, your cosmic consultant. And I'm just going to say, WTF is going on. If you feel like it's a lot right now, it's because it is. Again, we are in an absolute gravitron, sticking to the walls level of change and chaos and upheaval and eruption and disruption, but it is all in service to the evolution and revolution. So first of all, I just want to acknowledge, it feels like a lot. It is. It is. Last week was a lot. Sun conjunct Pluto was not playing around. And the pace of this year is going to be insanity. And some of the change is going to feel really positive. Some of it's going to feel really awful. But again, it's all happening in service to the Pluto and Aquarius of it all. But I just do want to honor our nervous systems, especially with all this air energy. We gotta honor the nervous system. So just sending so much love to each and every one of you out there. I had the pleasure this week of just having like cosmic connection coincidences of just connecting with someone who was friend, listened to the podcast, or shout out to Melissa, who is friends with my amazing chiropractor who has gotten me through the end of my pregnancy and postpartum experience, Dr. Karen Shu. Shout out to Melissa if you're listening to this, but she said that she was showing you my podcast and you already listened. And I just love the hype of the cosmic baddies out there and this powerful network of badass revolutionaries. I'm talking about the badasses with the good hearts who are here to see and birth the vision for this new world we can live in, and who don't let themselves be gaslit by the tomfoolery, the nonsense that is happening out there in certain spheres and circles of the world. So with that being said, I am so grateful for you all more than ever, now more than ever. It's so interesting. We started this project in 2017. It really gained steam in 2020 with a lot of you joining our, moon circles, our membership community. And back then we were talking about this revolution happening and how we have to kind of divest from certain social media platforms and create our own communities offline, and how there's a lot at play that we're not totally seeing, but this sort of power in numbers, and the worst thing that we can do for them, I didn't really know how to name them then, but now it's the oligarchy, the bro-oligarchy, let's call it. The worst thing we can do is band together. And now we're just seeing this structure's absolute crumble to dust, that they are not working anymore, that we do need to divest from these certain social media platforms, that we do need to remember the power in numbers in ways that even I did not understand how literal it was going to be. So what I'm saying is I'm here for us in this community. I'm so grateful. This is such Aquarius season rant right now. I am so grateful for us. I love us. And I am so grateful that the people who are here, the baddies that we found, we're different, but we're all on the same wavelength. I feel like the universe is showing me how so many people out there are really drinking the cuckoo juice of no, the things that I hear people say online and things I'm no, I got just what is happening. So I'm happy to have you all here, or else I would feel am I crazy? Even though I know I'm not, or I am crazy in a good way. It's just in these capital T, in these times, trademark, I wouldn't even know what to do if I didn't have this community of you all. And with that being said, new moon in Aquarius, jump in if you haven't into our community. If you want, we do live full moon, new moon calls. We have all kinds of fun perks, bonus podcast content, dates, astro dates, for every month, every season, rituals, tarot card spreads, and an amazing like private group chat that's just for our community. And we have more things coming. Stay tuned. And definitely everything that's been going on right now is only adding more fuel to my fire to want to continue to grow and serve this community and have a space for us to gather where we can heal and make space for ourselves, but also like just hype each other up for this fucking monumental time we're a part of. Okay. So anyway, that's my spiel. And we're going to talk about today, the year of the wood snake begins on January 29th. Yes, we have a new, I'm not a Chinese Asian astrologer, obviously, but I do love following. Where are we going? What are we doing? What does this year teach us? And it is in sync with Jupiter cycle of Hellenistic astrology. So we are entering, every year has an animal and an element. So we are entering the wood snake. We are leaving behind the year of the dragon, the wood dragon, if you will, to go into some serpent medicine. And we are stepping into the new moon in Aquarius, which is going to bring just another activation around the reminder for all of us to call in positive change, innovation, like-minded community, seeing past the current like weeds that we're in and zooming out to a perspective of like, okay, how can I be of service to living in a better, brighter world? And, we just continue to dip into this Aquarius medicine. We're in it hardcore. And before we do that, obviously we got to talk about the moon and we got to talk about if astrology isn't real. I'm trying to keep these podcasts like bite size. I want this to accompany you, on your morning routine. There's a part of me, it's like I could do literally, most people do like a 5-hour podcast every week, but like, listen, Joe Rogan, I'm talking to you. Like, is what you're saying that important? Probably not. So I try to keep it digestible for my baddies. That being said, I feel like from this past week alone, I could do a 5-hour podcast on the literal astrology. As a reminder, we had the big moment I was talking about last week was the Sun conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. Hasn't happened since the late 1700s. Of course, it happened on Inauguration Day, on MLK Jr. Day. It's like, could this all be just like more potent? It's like so dramatic. And sure enough, leading into that week, or leading into that day on Monday, I thought it was interesting, like Biden had his final farewell speech to the nation where he's literally warning us of the dangers of the technocrats, the oligarchy, this like absolute power that's forming, especially through, like the techie billionaire boys. And I'm like, literally, like, first of all, a day late, $1 short. I'm like, dude, why are you telling us what's wrong with the job you were supposed to be in on the last day of your work? Like, that is absolute insanity to me. That is like working at a company and doing nothing, and on your exit interview being like, by the way, there's a virus on our computer that I did nothing about. We are in the red, and I just clogged the toilet. Bye. Like, I was like, Biden, I appreciate this, but this is not news to anyone. And shout out to Bernie Sanders, who has been literally calling out the rising oligarchy of our nation on like a very regular schedule since 1990, like 2 or 3. Okay. But it just felt like as we loomed into this Sun Pluto conjunction, it felt like very literal. And then of course the buzz of the weekend, besides the inauguration, was like, is TikTok going to be shut down? And listen, your girl, I fell into it too, because I'm like, such mixed feelings. In some ways, I'm like, do I need another social media platform to distract me and my ADHD brain? No. But has TikTok taught me so much, including helping me self-diagnose my ADHD, has helped me feel so much less alone, has made me laugh and giggle and like honestly almost pee my pants sometimes, has taught me things about like skincare, cleaning, organization hacks, has helped me get through motherhood, has helped me realize other like spiritual theories, conspiracy theories. I'm like, 2020 like is when I got on TikTok for real. I was on Musical.ly before that when it was a dancing app, but TikTok like really got me through the pandemic, helped me like
get so much of my life together. It's weird. So I had mixed feelings towards it shutting down. But then the thing that was really crazy, I was like, oh, this is very Sun, Pluto, and Aquarius. And then being on the app at like 11 o'clock or like 10:30 on Saturday night, get my last few doom scrolls in. I love that algorithm. I do. It's crazy. The TikTok algo is crazy. Getting the shutdown notice and having the goddamn notification mentioning Trump's name, that he's going to try and bring it back. I was like, what in the PR stunt political theater just happened here? And are you referencing Trump, the man, the orange man who tried to started this conversation in 2020? Again, this is where I'm like, am I taking crazy pills? Like, I know I'm not, because I screenshot everything. My phone is just filled with screenshots. I have the receipts. But like, what is going on? And all of that leading into the inauguration. We talked about Sun, Pluto, in Aquarius. Pluto is very tied to like fascist energy, because it's like this like Plutonian crazy seeking all power, right? And in Aquarius with the sun represents leadership and kings, where like we might feel that like all consuming sense of absolute power trying to be like gripped on this day. But also Sun Pluto in Aquarius is reminding us that like it's up to us, and it's going to be so important. Power to the people, power of community over these next 20 years of Pluto and Aquarius. So, after all of this, the technocrat warning, the ban, the TikTok, we also see like this inauguration that just was like, hello, like again, tech oligarchy on stage with Trump while the everyday person is left out in the cold. We have people like kissing the ring, bending the knee. Like, I'm sorry, did we become a monarchy overnight? Like, what is happening with these like media companies, tech companies, celebrities? Snoop Dogg, I'm looking at you thinking like, it was just so bizarre. And then of course, like ending it with the Heil Hitler Nazi salute from Elon Musk and Trump pardoning all the January 6ers. I was like, what in the actual F is going on? It was just such an intense few days that my head was spinning, and there's so much else going on, but those were just the highlights. And I'm just bringing all this up because if you're not paying attention, I get it. Like the day of this podcast recording, I've taken a day or two off from the news because I'm like, I just need a break. But I'm saying all this because this is exactly what the astrology is talking about. Pluto and Aquarius. And with Pluto and Aquarius, we have to go into the shadows and the extreme of what was being built in the last Pluto cycle so that we can like really see the shadows of it and kind of blow it up from the inside out. So we saw towards the tail end of Pluto and Capricorn, and we talked about it. We're like, wow, this whole like hee nervous laughter of like hee like AI and social media is getting really out of control. We all know, we've all seen the studies, the documentaries, the research reports on like social media, not great for our mental health. Social media, mining our data. I'm like, don't tell me, USA, that they care about giving away our data. It's like, no, you care that it's going to not us, not the US. And don't tell me you care about like, affecting children's mental health, because you don't seem to care about that with any of the other apps. And so, yeah, it's just time to figure out how to have different relationships with these things. Like, I am going to delete my ex because Elon Musk has literally, I haven't been on it in a while. And I had a lot of people I followed on there, astrologers I liked. I'm going to go find them on Blue Sky. It is such a teeming cesspool of hate and misinformation on there. I can't even deal. Like, I can't even go on the app. It's like how I used, like what happened with Facebook for me. And it's like, I'm not saying we have to give up social media completely. A lot of us, like, I know a lot of you, I connect with you on Instagram. But like, how do we just begin to divest from it? How do we begin to not put our whole livelihood? What happened with TikTok is what we were talking about years ago. We started the conversation of like, we have to grow our email list. We have to find other places to gather, because these tech bros could just shut down an app or change an algorithm overnight. And I don't want that affecting every part of your livelihood, of your social connections, of your whatever it is that you go to social media for. So how do we divest from these? How do we go to maybe apps like Blue Sky or Fanbase that are not like so controlled by these like monopolistic, like few men? Sacred.alchemist on Instagram. Monica, I love her work, and she has a lot of great tips and tools for like how to use social media in a way, or Instagram in a way. It's like, understanding it's there, but she does a lot of like decolonizing social media work. Go check out her tips. So yeah, I saw a great quote on Instagram this week, and it was like, fascism is old, but witchcraft is older. And I was like, hell yeah. And this is the times. Remember, we have power in our numbers. We have power in magic. Everyone is participating in magic and sorcery and spell casting. I'm sorry. And I think the biggest lie the world has told us is that magic is not real. And the North Node in Pisces is coming to remind us that magic is real, while Pluto in Aquarius is reminding us of the power in numbers and the power of gathering. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm on a tear. I'm on a hot one about all of that energy, but it's just so literal what's going on right now. So let's talk about the moon. Let's get back to basics. Let's talk about you. What's going on? How do we tend to yourself, your nervous system as this week goes on? On Monday, the day this podcast comes out, the 27th, we got a moon in Capricorn energy. That goes until Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. Moon in Capricorn, we're getting shit done. We're just taking care of business, being the boss of our own life. We're going to look out for being too hard on ourselves or thinking that the world is too bleak. We're looking for color. We're looking for joy where we can get it. Then Tuesday, the moon moves into Aquarius. Stays there through Wednesday, through Thursday, until 5:52 p.m. on Thursday Eastern Time. And within that, we have the new moon in Aquarius at 7:35 a.m. Eastern Time on the 29th. I'm going to talk about the Aquarius new moon in the planetary planning, but we're feeling all this Aquarius energy through and through. So get together with your people, donate, volunteer an organization you believe in, and divest from a product or a website or app you don't believe in. This is like the medicine that day, okay? What we're going to do is, stay in our feelings, stay in our heart space. We're always making sure that with the Aquarius energy, that we're not losing our humanity or our humanness in like favor of kind of like getting worn down by humanity. So on the 30th at 5:52 p.m., moon moves into Pisces, stays there all day Friday, well into Saturday, 8 o'clock p.m. East Coast time. Pisces moon days, what are we doing? We're slinging cards. We're getting creative. We're paying attention to our dreams. We're getting back into our intuition. This time of year, Aquarius and Pisces season, it's very surreal. It's a lot about endings. It's a lot about endings that help us transcend, transmute, and transform. Things feel trippy, okay? So I want you to pay attention to the things that are coming through to you. With that being said, we're going to look out for it. We're going to stay grounded. We're going to stay in our body. We're going to remember to eat, sleep, change our clothes, change our laundry around. Remember the human things that anchor us to the earth field and keep us feeling nourished and present. Saturday and into Sunday, we're ending on an Aries moon weekend. Saturday night, listen, it's cold, but turn up the temperatures by being hot. Go wear something slutty and go outside and let yourself steam up the place, okay? Aries moon, Saturday night, or if you're like me and there's probably no real chance of that happening right now, at least do something for yourself or by yourself that feels good. And again, that's a great thing to do on Sunday. Tend to something for you. Go do something new you've never done before. Go to a class, go to a workshop, take yourself shopping. Or go tackle a project that you wanted to do forever that's going to help you feel empowered and clear as we go into the next week. That is the moon report. As we get into planetary planning, like I said, the big headline for the year, maybe for the year too, we are in the age of Aquarius, not really, but kind of, is January 29th. So we always have the first new moon of the year is the Lunar New Year in Chinese astrology. And there are other Eastern Asian traditions that use the same calendar, but for simplicity's sake, I'm going to say in Chinese astrology. So that's just a fun fact. And we go into the year of the wood snake. Now, the last time we had wood snake was 1965. Think about what was going on. Intensified warfare in Vietnam, civil rights movements, MLK march, the Selma march to Montgomery. These are big things. So just giving us a little bit of a taste collectively what to expect. But on the personal level, it's all about snakes keep their bellies to the ground. Last year we were in a dragon year. Dragons fly. Snakes are basically as grounded as you could be. Their whole belly, their whole being, their whole body touches the earth. So I want you to stay in the place of feeling grounded. Also, we know, what does the snake do? It sheds its skin. So I also want you to look at this year. We are releasing what is no longer serving us big time. We are making space for the us that we are becoming, that we are growing into. And of course, with the wood energy, there's things like patience, persistence, precision, strategy, pragmatism that are helping us really plan carefully. And it might feel slower at times, but it's because we're in it for the long haul here, right, baby? That is where we're going with it. And with this wood snake energy, working with serpentine energy, working with like snake totems might feel really good. And again, I really want you to think about like we're aligning with our true path, with our highest destiny path, but we're really shedding. We are planning. We are responding versus reacting. We're staying calm under pressure. Just thinking about all of that, and it ties into the new moon in Aquarius because we're being asked to, we're in this like really chaotic year of deep change, of, a lot of instability. This 2025, 2026 are going to be years that really like define the whole decade, define better parts of a century. I kept saying, during my 2025 astrology, I was like, this feels like a COVID year, not like necessarily we're going to be in lockdown, but a year of this much change and disruption and things that affect all of us in an undeniable way. And I think we're like a month in and I could already be like, yeah, I'm feeling that already. So how do we stay grounded, right? How do we keep our bellies to the earth? How do we stay strategic, stay methodical, stay like in the place of not losing our cool? Or honestly, maybe in this case of like talking about everything, how do we not give up? How do we not throw it all away in the just feelings of like, what does it even matter? And it's like, no, we do matter. We were here, we're incarnated during this time for a big reason, and we're in it for the long haul. And listen, a lot of things have changed. We know it gets worse before it gets better. It's like the infection. It has to like to purge. And the best thing we can do is just show up as our authentic self. We heal in the sunlight. So bringing ourselves into the light. This is what we've learned so much about being our authentic self with all like the North Node and Aries journey we were just on. So like no more hiding. It's just going to be a theme that's going to come up over and over and over again. Now, with this new moon in Aquarius, I would love to see you set some big intentions, put some pen to paper, do some manifesting work about who are you gathering with? Who is your community? Do you have it? Do you have intentions of what you want to do together? If you don't have it, set intentions around finding the community. Who are the people who are not going to judge you, who are not going to laugh at you or think you're crazy or think you're, off the rails, who want to see the same world that you want to live in, who have the same values, same belief systems, who are helping you like do more together than you can do on your own. And there's so much of that, and there's so much under this like new moon in Aquarius about intentions for like your vision for yourself and your higher vision for your life, but also for our world that we want to live in. And I would say like, what are your intentions you have around like thinking outside the box? That's what this Aquarius energy is going to want us to do for the next 20 years. Like we're just not going back the way we came. We all have to commit to being a visionary, to being innovative, to thinking outside the box. And this new moon might be a great kickoff for that. And right after that, Uranus is, one of the co-rulers of Aquarius. Uranus goes direct on the 30th, and there's a beautiful Sun-Jupiter trine. Both of these energies feel like sending you forward with this new vision, doing something that might be an immediate opportunity or an understanding of how you are meant to fly forward, to bring this energy with a different momentum for this year. So yeah, lots of ingenuity, lots of new roads, lots of just new everything, right? And it's going to ask us to be open to the shakeups and wake-ups and breakups that lead to the breakthroughs, that lead to the upgrades, and just kind of like keeping our alien Aquarius antennas open to it all. So if you want to hear what this means for you and your sign, check out our Cosmic RX Plus Premium. Part of that community is I do a bonus podcast episode that goes into the breakdown for every sign if you're curious of how to work with this even more. And either way, I am sending you big ass love. I am sending you revolutionary, rebellious, fucking love and a big hug and a pat on the bum in a respectful, consensual way, of course, to say, I'm so damn honored to be here with you alongside you for this wild ride. I'm excited and looking forward to some more in-person events this year. And it's time. We were born during these times. You were made for these times. So let's do the damn thing. Sending you all so much love. And of course, those big new moon prayers for big, fat, juicy checks and hot, fulfilling, toe curling sex. Until next time. Mwah. Do you love getting your Cosmic RX for the week here and want more? Make sure to sign up for our premium subscription so you can get exclusive access to bonus podcast episodes, all of my astrology info for the month ahead, and live new and full moon calls to help you manifest your dream life with an intentional international community of other cosmic baddies. Sign up through our link in show notes.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you want to know more about Cosmic RX, head on over to thecosmicrx.com. And if you really love this show, I'd love it if you left a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. I super love hearing from you and reading your reviews. All right, you cosmic baddie, tune in next week. And until then, remember, love yourself fully, work your magic, and take no shit.